Hey guys, just a mountain girl here. I am joined by my boyfriend, Bret Dallas. We are at the Brainerd Lake Recreation Area. I'm going to turn this around so you can see. This is Blue Lake. Where my hand is in that. Blue Lake. It is off the Mitchell Lake Trailhead. As you can see, it's a lot of people around here. The last part of it's up kind of rocky, a little bit steep, but it's not too bad. Overall, it's a pretty easy trail. But these are the views. It's totally worth it. It's a gorgeous trail, beautiful lake. Crazy person over there actually jumped into the lake. But it is a glacial lake, so I can only imagine how frigid those temperatures are. Alright, so we've had our snack, I've had my whiskey, and we're going to head back down the trail, and I'll check in with you guys, kind of show you what's going on down the trail. There are waterfalls all along the area. Good, the trail is kind of rocky, coming up this way. But the view's up. This is kind of what the trail looks like in this area. There's nothing too crazy. There's lots of dogs up here. There's Bret Dallas in the distance. There are kids up there, so it's definitely doable as a family trail. If you want to get here and not have to add extra mileage, we were here about 7:30 and had to park at the lower trailhead. So you definitely want to get here early because it added about another 1.5 miles to our trek. From the Mitchell Trailhead, the sign says it's 3 miles, so about 6 miles round trip. We'll end up doing a little more than that today, like I said, because we had to park at a lower trailhead. So I'm guessing on a weekend, it's a holiday weekend. This is Labor Day weekend. You definitely need to be up here before the time that we arrived, which was 7:30. You can see kind of rocky terrain here, so I'm going to turn this off just so I can focus on the trail for a minute. So we're coming down the trail from Blue Lake. And there are tons of these glacial melt little small lake pond things. These are great places in the early morning. If you're here early enough, you might catch a moose out here. There are moose in this area, so you do have to be careful of them, but if you get to see one on the trail, it's absolutely magnificent. Again, this is kind of rocky here. Again, not anything too bad, but just absolutely beautiful views up here. And this is what some of it looks like through the trees. We're about in another one of those little glacial melt pond things. And just a little tip, because it's fresh on my mind, guys, so this is a basically 6 mile round trip trail. Oh, hold on, I'll let you get this first. Look at this. Almost fell. Absolutely beautiful. It's on my mind. At 6 miles, I know one wants to talk about potty breaks, but you should be drinking enough water that you have at least one potty break on the way in and one on the way out. For those of you who don't, on a trail like this, it means you are not drinking enough water. Hello, ladies. Oh, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great day. So again, 6 miles round trip. You need to be stopping for at least 2 bathroom breaks, especially being at elevation like this. At the lake itself, we were at 11,400 feet. We've had to stop a couple times up and once so far down, so I'm not concerned about our water intake, but it's super important, especially at elevation, and it's pretty warm up here. I was just saying a minute ago, hashtag we're full. It doesn't feel like it should be this warm at 11,000 feet on Labor Day. But when you're at elevation, it's more important to drink more water than hiking at lower elevation. No, it's not that much further, about another mile, maybe 3/4. And it's worth it. It's beautiful. If you've never been up there, it's really beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, totally worth it. Have a great hike, ladies.
Thank you.
So again, just reinforcing the importance of drinking water on the trail, especially at elevation. Super important. The altitude will affect you way more if you are not properly hydrated. And there's a look at my very handsome boyfriend, Bret Dallas, his rear end that I get the pleasure of staring at the whole way down. So we've been back to tree line for a little bit, but now we're in the park that's kind of mostly through the forest, and along some of these other glacial melt ponds. This is, I'm thinking this here, let me get to where I can see it. That peak there, I believe, is Mount Audubon. It is a 13er. Hello.
Hi there.
Have a great day.
You too.
I believe the trail for that particular 13er ends up being around 8.5 miles. My friend and I have talked about backpacking in. So we backpack all this and camping and then doing a summit of the 13er Audubon. There's another peak. It's a class 2, by the way. There's another peak you can get to on just the other side of it that it's an easy class 3. So I kind of want to do that as well. Guess it would just depend on the day. So you can see rocky trail through here, some roots to deal with, but this part gets to be mostly flat, so a pretty easy trail. They've put wood, as you can see, some of these spaces where it gets real marshy. So this is one of the steeper sections of the trail. Kind of, well, that doesn't look too bad, but coming down, going up to, kind of steep. There's some big steps, especially if you have shorter legs like me. I'm only 5'4", so just kind of come down this section with me along this, avoid all the boulders. But we are approaching Mitchell Lake, which is the first, yeah, see, you got some boulders along in here. Walk through. It's always better in these sections just to kind of go slow, take your time, even if there's people behind you, because it's better to go slow and you know, not fall and break something. That would be bad. If you hear a clanging noise, that is my cup that Wild Trails Coffee sent me. They are located in Canada. I believe they're in British Columbia area. I'll have to look that up for you. But now we're into the shade, and I'll get with you guys when I get back to Mitchell Lake. So this is approaching the Mitchell Lake. This is the first lake you will encounter on this trail. It's about a mile in. Forest, you got somebody flat fishing, hanging out. All this. And there's a 13er Audubon. So again, guys, this was the, we did Blue Lake Trail off the Mitchell Lake Trailhead. I am now at the first lake you'll encounter, which is Mitchell Lake. And then Blue Lake is about 2 miles up after this. This is a mile in. It's about 3 miles in, 6 miles round trip. Indian Peaks Wilderness, Mitchell Trailhead, I said that already. And this is Just a Mountain Girl signing off. Have a great day, guys.